Yo, what's up? On my way back from a great workout, I got a message for somebody, all right? Most tattooers, based on my understanding, want to do better art, right? Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned vet, you still want to do better artwork. It's a constant thing, right? But it seems like we naturally forget about something that's very, very important. Let me explain. So, when it comes to tattooers, they want to do better art, right? Now, what does that really mean? That means they want to do better lines, they want to do smoother shading, they want to stylize their art or become, develop it to a point where it can be recognized as their art. Like when we see a Guy Aitchison piece or a Paul Booth piece or, something like that. The thing is so many people skip a step. And this is why you see some of the greatest tattoo artists coming in from other art forms, and they've only been doing it a couple years or a couple months, and they've been killing it. Why is that? Well, it's because they didn't skip the step. And that step is this. It's the foundations of what art is. See, tattooing is just a new type of pencil, right? So many people get into this game and they try to learn how to do good art on skin, not realizing they're damaging their reputation before it's even created. And you can't even see this kind of stuff before, not to mention the worst part about this. Because you can always come back from a reputation with just a little bit of humility and fixing your mistakes. But here's one thing that just you can't get back. You can't get your time back. And if you compare a tattoo artist that's learning how to do portraits on skin versus somebody who follows my program, for example, where they learn A to Z how to do them on paper like a tattoo so that they translate, right? That tattoo, there's a reason why these tattoo artists that I train are able to do great portraits within a couple months, not a couple years. It's because we go back to the drawing board. It always starts with the foundations, with the drawing. Now think about this, because I gotta set the point home, all right? When it comes to, who do you look up to? The greats. How many of y'all know Nico Hurtado? How many let's name some of your favorite tattooers below, right? Thank you. Nico Hurtado, let's talk about some amazing artists. Dmitry Samoan, Dmitry Vision, who else? A shitload of Russian people, a shitload of people, some of y'all from the UK. There's so many great artists out there that are just coming out of the woodworks, right? And so many of the legends that we look up to, Nick Baxter, Guy Aitchison, why do we look up to them? Because their artwork, right? A lot of us think that one day we're going to be like them just organically, naturally, when we put in enough time, when enough years go past. That's not the case. Those artists, they do something different than 98% of the tattooers out here and on this stream. Because I would be lying if I said everybody that watches my videos is part of the 1%. It might not be the case. It depends. I'm not going to lie to you, but it depends on what you put in. It depends on the route you take. Here's the route that they take. Have you ever noticed how Nico Hurtado and them still take sometimes months off? Man, I remember seeing Nico Hurtado take nearly a year off of tattooing just to do painting. Well, why is that? You think he's making more money with his paintings? No. He's getting better. You see, you learn art off of skin and you translate it to skin. Once you know how to do smooth shades, crispy lines, and you know how to create a intricate design, maybe through your iPad or however you decide to do it, once you know how to create those things, really, all it comes down to is your art. That's what separates you. That's how you grow. At some point, you can't learn how to use a paintbrush better than you already know how to use it. It's just a fucking paintbrush. Tattooing is not an art. And this is why I say that, because when we call it an art, we get it confused that we should focus on learning art through tattooing. Tattooing is another paintbrush. You still have to learn how to do art off of skin. And if you want to be one of the greatest, that's the secret that I'm sharing with you guys today. Take it with a grain of salt or absorb this and really tattoo it on your brain. The choice is yours. But Guy Aitchison, still to this day, and everybody that I just labeled, is still taking time off of their tattooing or doing painting and drawing outside of their tattooing. Still, after 15 years of success, 20 years of success, they're still doing this. So if you're wondering why, or you have somebody that you work next to and you care about them, and you've heard them complain about why their artwork isn't improving. I'm speaking to apprentices in particular too, because you guys don't get a break just because you're starting out. You have to see these things for what it's worth. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to learn on skin and take 2 years to do a decent portrait, for example, you know, you can do that. But you can also take a couple months to do the same thing if you really dive deep into it outside of skin, and then you just learn the fundamentals of skin. Remember, art fundamentals are off of skin, tattoo fundamentals are on skin. So we got to blend the best of both worlds. That's what makes an exceptional artist. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to go and strive to develop more of one style or two styles than the typical be well-rounded at all. See, the thing is you only have to be well-rounded when you're working in an outdated tattoo shop that doesn't know how to organize its leads. It doesn't have organization so that the clients are going in with the best fit for them based on the artist. It still has outdated practices, that whole rotation rule and shit. That's the only time you'll need to do it's the only time well-rounded will benefit you. And unfortunately, you remember those names that we know in this industry? I'm gonna leave you with one question. How many of those are well-rounded artists versus artists that developed and specialized in a style? I'm gonna leave you with that question. I wanna see your comment, all right? Y'all have a good one.